He used to sell cars on a gravel lot, in a beige suit sweating, man it was hot. Now he's selling laughs with a discount smile, trying on accents like it's going out of style. One day he's a cowboy, the next he's a wrestler. Did a stand-up bit in a demonstrator Tesla. He's got wigs in his bag and a dream in his gut. If there's someone to be, he's strapping up. Dave does the best you never had. Dave does one-liners like your dad. Voices and faces with very odd graces. He once sold a lotta to 2 drag racing bassists. He's the man of 1,000 rolls plus GST. So grab your popcorn, 'cause tonight Dave does TV. Dave does TV.
Well, thank you, Gavin. Yes, the track's in lightning-fast condition today for the running of the 56th Maguire Stakes here over 1,600 metres out of Pooney. Well, the red light is on, the balloon is up, and the totalisate is closed. The favourite Indian Chief stands there, pricked on the inside. There's Mr. Bojangles standing quietly wider out. So too is Snow Queen. We're just about all set for racing this time. They've jumped in the Maguire. The favourite Indian Chief got out well the inside draw. So too did High Perno and Black Rob, but Mr. Bojangles missed the start. So too did Snow Queen. On settling down now, Princess Patrice comes from the ride draw to take up the running from the favourite on the inside rail. One off the paint would be Black Rob with the trail tucked in his High Perno. Go back to heraldry. Mr. Bojangles, Snow Queen brings up the rear. Across the top they go now. Princess Patrice by 2.5 thinks now Indian Chief. High Perno, Black Rod, heraldry, Mr. Bojangles. Snow Queen brings up the rear as they head for home. Princess Patrice now being gathered up by the pack. Indian Chief ranges up alongside, as does High Perno. Black Rod caught on the rail, but who's this on the outside and the better going? It's going to be Snow Queen. Comes up with long withering strides. You can say goodbye to the rest. It's Indian Chief, Snow Queen, High Perno. It's High Perno, Indian Chief, Snow Queen. Snow Queen, High Perno, Indian Chief. High Perno, Indian Chief. And Snow Queen gets it on the line. Indian Chief comes second. High Perno go back to Black Rod. Heraldry, Mr. Bojangles. And Princess Patrice, the early place setter, brings up the rear. A guy and his wife are sitting around the dinner table going through their accounts. He can't believe there's no money left in the bank. He says there's only one thing we can do. I'm going to put you out on the street for the night. You're going to have to make some money and we'll pay our bills that way. I'm going to drop you off at 11 p.m. and pick you up at 4 a.m. on the High Street corner. That night, he drops her off. Sure enough, 4 a.m. he picks her up. She gets in the car. He says, "How did you go? How much money did you make?" She said, $80.50. He said, "Who was the tight ass that only gave you 50 cents? She said, "They all did." "I got him, Lance, I got him." "Well, look at you, boy. We don't look like no fancy gunslinger down that rat hole, boy. Like no more akin to a heel hound." "Shut up, Lance." "Now what I want you to do is crawl out of that hole real slow, like molasses and winter. Take them horse pistols out of your holsters even slower. Leave it to me, Lance." "Water post says they're alive, boy. Don't make no difference to me."
Look, sit down and I'll get your autographs in a minute. You all know who I am. My name is Crusher Garcia and I'm the greatest professional World Heavyweight Wrestling Federation champion who ever walked God's green earth, and don't forget it. Now, lucky enough for you, I'm in your town tomorrow night, and I'm going to take on all of your local professionals who actually think they can roll me from that position. How crazy is that? Look, I don't care if you're bringing Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I actually don't care if you're bringing Abdullah the Butcher, and I certainly don't care if you're bringing Killer Carl Cox, because by the time I'm finished with those 3 guys, in the middle of that ring out back, there's got to be 900 pounds of hamburger, okay? Get out of my way!
You know what the problem is with my wife? She always wants to talk during sex. Last week she ran me from a hotel. The other night she met me at the door at 1 a.m. in brand new lingerie. Sounds good, huh? Thing was she was coming home. You know how she found out she sleepwalked? She kept waking her up in her own bed. Now for her birthday I took her to a fancy restaurant and I made a toast to the best wife a guy ever had and the way to join me.
I went looking for a used car and found one of my wife's dresses in the back seat. You know, every time I walk in the door at night, the parrot says, "Quick, he's home, get out the window." You know, last week after a tough week, I jumped into a cab after work. I said, "Take me to where the action is." He took me to my place.
He used to sell cars on a gravel lot in a beige suit, sweating, man.